good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. And guess what today is? National Seashell Day. If you hadn't known that, it's the first day of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And you are supposed to celebrate seashells today.
Would have worn a different outfit.
So, anyway, that's what today is. It's also National Ice Cream Soda Day. So go get an ice cream soda.
Did they make those ice cream sodas?
And all you gave us was this?
Well, we have wine. So first of all, okay, I want to introduce first my co-host today, Stephanie Larkin, my love. If it wasn't for this lady, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't have
She
written
blames
2
me
books.
for everything.
I wouldn't be speaking at other kinds of events, and
Can I just publicly apologize to the world then?
Yeah. She's terrific, so she's going to be helping me today. I haven't seen her in, 6 months?
Oh, too long.
Yes.
Too long.
And she's
But you enticed me with these 2 handsome authors.
I
so
know.
I'm here.
Red Penguin Books.
Oh my gosh.
In the house. So we also have...
2 handsome authors, I'm here.
I know, and they're Italian.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
No, he's not.
No, Italian and Greek. Okay, sorry.
I'm the better pasta.
Yeah. Nick Christophers, he's an actor and author. He wrote a documentary, and we're going to talk all about you. And we have Lou Mastantuono, who is my hero. His story is unbelievable, and we're going to be talking about that wonderful Eternally Rose book, which you see them on the counter here today. So it's the first day of summer. It's going to be a great day, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And I am going to let you give me a vacation today a little.
Ooh, look at
Because,
Summer vacation.
I need a break sometimes.
I get that.
But first,
We all need a break.
let's host and toast
Toast.
to everybody.
Salud.
Salute.
Salute.
And Mike, thank you for coming. And Susan, thank you
Michael.
for fixing the table. We're back to normal. Our table is normal again. No more decorations. Susan is our decorator for holidays, and it really always looks tremendous.
Love that.
So, salute. I didn't have
Salute.
wine yet.
Have it. It'll go.
All right.
The show goes much better with wine.
This is true. Well, you taught me that.
I tell you the good stuff.
I've been on your show. She has a great show.
We all sit around with wine. Absolutely.
That's right.
You have a show?
Wine and books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
she has a
very
beautiful
good.
show.
Yes, we'll get
Okay.
you.
All right.
Yep, another show. Long Island. We love Long Island here.
Absolutely.
So thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You know, ever since we met years ago in Butter Cookery, I mean,
Butter Cookie
that's,
Bakery.
That's a Long Island staple. Also.
Yes, and now they just tripled it. They're making
I
a
know.
restaurant.
I keep driving by and seeing all the construction going
was
on
that?
there.
Butter Cookie in Floral Park, and they have
Jericho
one in
Turnpike.
Huntington.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have 3 bakeries now.
I'm all about bakeries. Bakeries and wine. I mean,
Yeah, she loves wine.
All right.
Well, Long
Definitely.
Island's a great place. We have some of the most
That's true.
wonderful wineries, North Fork, South Fork, some great stuff. So a little shout out to all the great winemakers here on Long Island.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I guess we're going to let you talk to
Well,
Nick first. And, well, we're going to all
Well,
talk.
of
We're
course
gonna
we're all going to talk, but I know for sure that Nick is Greek. I got,
The Ghanis.
I don't know why I thought you were Italian, because you look Italian.
I know, everybody says that.
Everybody
right.
says that. It's just right over the water, but they're
Well, Lou
very...
looks Greek too.
Well, I told to your sister years ago that I'm
Yeah.
Greek.
Yeah.
By going way back, a story 200 years ago, the
there we go.
Mesopotamian Wars. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, aren't we all Greek going back enough years?
That's very true.
I don't know about that one, but
But anyway, we'll save it for another day.
I think we're all Greek. I mean, I saw my big fat Greek wedding. I mean,
Oh, I loved it.
Everything goes back to Greek, but
The first one was better than the second one.
absolutely.
But it was still very
But fortunately with Nick, he writes so many books, and it's not just like how with movies, the first one's always the good one, and then they kind of go downhill. No.
No, he's one,
Well, it's like
one
Godfather
after
3.
the
They
other.
should never made that one.
Exactly,
Yeah, right.
exactly. But we're relieved you keep making the books. This is good stuff.
yeah, thank you. It's
So
a lot of
so
work.
your most recent one, how long ago did that one get released?
week
It was
ago.
just like
A week ago.
I thought it was just this spring.
That one is very interesting.
A week,
Sue
it's just-
Caesar.
Like literally hot off the presses.
Flowers
Yeah,
are
I
not
guess so.
forever.
You could say that, yeah. Flowers are not forever, that's right. That's
So with so many books, how many are up to now? 6?
5.
Five. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. 6. 5 books. Do you keep them straight in your head? Like if a fan came up to you and said some name, would you know which book it was in, or you're like, yeah, there's a lot of books.
Oh, no, I would. I mean, if he mentioned something from one of them. Well, not all the books are. Well, the first one and the fourth one are fiction.
Right.
The two in between that, like this one, and the one prior to that, are nonfiction.
Exactly.
And the one I just did now is also fiction.
The Caesar. Caesar that's a fiction book. The flowers and
Well, Flowers Are Not Forever. Caesar's the main character.
Right.
right. He's a,
Well, no, actually, he's not the main character. The main character is a woman.
Let's go.
Yeah, I
Smart
kind of.
man.
Yeah, well, it's in today's publishing world. Statistically speaking, women read more than men.
They do.
They read books. They buy books more than guys do.
Very true.
So that's one of the main reasons why I put a woman on the cover.
Gotcha.
And she is kind of like the main character. Even my first book, Destinies, that I'm working to make into a film, that I want, hopefully, when things work out, I want Lou in it, of course. He was in my trailer that I did shoot, actually, for it. The main character in there is also a woman.
you like women.
Now, it's funny. It's funny. You said women are bigger readers,
That's
so
right.
that's why you put a woman on the cover. But half the time there's a half-naked man on the cover, and
Well,
that
this is
attracts the
true.
women readers too. So,
Well, yeah, too, I guess. Well, that's for a different reason. you know,
different reason. Yes.
But generally speaking, even a man or a woman on the cover doesn't matter. Women read more than men.
Absolutely, they
period.
do.
Of course, depending on the subject area, even though mine is kind of like similar, they're all in the mob genre
Right.
areas. Even though the last book, the most recent one, is not really a mob story, it's more of a thriller. It's more of a not mystery, but just a crime thriller. There's mob element is in there, but it's not prevalent.
Right.
It's not like the other ones. So I try to make it different. I'm actually working on my sixth one as we speak.
Fantastic.
Really?
Well, hopefully not as we speak, or else he's like literally typing right there. Well, tell me something. As a person who's written both fiction and nonfiction, do you have a preference? Does one flow more easily for you than the other?
Fiction, definitely, because you're creating it from your mind, whatever you come up with.
Right.
Um,
Nonfiction is research.
Nonfiction is, like this one, for
Yeah.
example, Mafia Ties, which is about the Greek mob. That's a 300-page book.
Yeah.
That's a long
And
book.
it's getting republished, I believe, as far as I know, from a Canadian publisher. I've been in contact with them for a year. I'm just waiting.
In
and
English, or are they translating?
No, Canadian. It's English.
Okay, in English. Okay.
No, it's not going to be in French.
Okay.
No. Otherwise, I won't know what the hell I'm reading.
Well, yeah.
But I added more information to it that I found. So this took a while to do because it's just so much info.
Yeah, a lot of research.
I'm lucky enough that I knew a lot of guys from that world, Greek and Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a lot of insight from these street guys, which makes it even more interesting because it's not reportive writing.
It's firsthand.
I hate reportive writing.
Yeah.
And I made it different. I didn't do it that way because I've read every book on the subject. You have no clue.
I'm sure.
So I knew what to kind of avoid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sound like everybody else, so I want to make it sound a little different. Even the second book I did, which was called Prison Rules, which I did with John Gotti Jr.'s ex-bodyguard, the Albanian, Johnny Elite. And that book is about how to survive in prison. Got nothing to do about John Jr.
Right.
Even though I got a lot of slack from them because of the time I was working on the book, they attacked
like
me.
it?
They attacked me from every corner.
But you survived.
He's here.
I'm not going to get into a lot of details.
Oh,
but
that was my next question about,
He's here.
fear and
He's here live in
threats
person.
and, what are we talking about here with threats and scare tactics and,
Well, I got a lot of that when I was writing that book.
yeah.
Oh
Because
my
the
And I got a
guys-
lot of phone calls at night from him.
Harsh
What did I do? What did
Well,
I
that's what I was wondering. You're writing these books.
Yeah, the Gottis didn't
Right,
like
Nick.
it too
I'm
much.
sure you're on some people's lists. They got you on speed
If I
dial.
am, I don't care. I'm not afraid of
Look
nobody.
at you.
I
Look
could
at
care
you.
less.
Yeah.
He says that now because we locked the door before
Yes.
filming.
Right.
He's
No,
not
I-
afraid. Door's locked.
No, I'm just not. Just I'm not worried about it.
No, well,
No.
you're very self-assured, and you
There
write
we
what
go.
you want to write.
Yeah, well, like everybody else. I mean, what am I
He
any different?
speaks the truth.
Right.
That's it.
I mean, everything that's in, even this book, I got a guy from Canada that I wrote about in there, Greek guy, and he contacted me from prison, asking me, why are you writing this? I said, what are you talking about? Why am I writing this? I'm an author. This is what I do.
Right.
He was saying something about, I got some of the information incorrect. I go, okay, what did I get incorrect? Let me know. He didn't respond.
Oh.
And then his daughter or cousin contacted me, and they're telling me, yeah, you got some information. I said, well, can you tell me what it is?
Right.
They never told me. I said, well, if you're not going to tell me, then leave me alone. You know, I just
You
ignored
figure they
it.
were just saying
Yeah.
that to kind of scare you, to make you think you got it wrong?
No, I think they were just, you know,
Make sure you
probably
answered your phone?
hoping that I would maybe unpublish the book, or
Right.
just like the Gaudis, the same thing. When I did Prison Rules, they didn't want me to write it. They sent me a letter of cease and desist.
But it's public usually. It's
Right.
public information.
It's public information, you're right.
That's
It's-
what I was saying to them.
Yeah, and they don't understand that. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's all
mean,
good. I had fun. I said, yeah, send me another letter. Yeah.
Didn't look like it bothered you one
Exactly.
bit.
No, not
yeah,
at all.
seriously. But you're absolutely right. It is public information. You're
That's right.
allowed to say, I get this question all the time as a publisher. Am I allowed to name names? Yep. Yeah, you actually
Yeah.
are. You're,
As long as they're part of the public domain,
Right.
they're fine.
Right.
You know, I mean, even this book alone, in the first chapter, I talk about New York, the New York cruise here, and I talk about somebody specifically in there who I knew growing up. I knew his whole family actually, and you know, when I think me and Lou were talking about it, I believe, and it was, you got to be careful not to say anything in there, like for example, if I said so and so, name is Spiro, if I said he was say homosexual, just say,
Right.
and there's nothing on record that says
That's
that
a
he was,
problem.
I'd have a problem.
That's a problem.
But everything I put in there
Right.
was exactly
Is-
it's already
It's already
out there
there.
already,
It's already out there.
or I got it from the FBI tapes that I have, the undercover tapes that I had from the
It's a
FBI.
Spiro.
Yeah.
You know, do you realize how long we talked about this?
Oh my God, years
I
ago.
was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I'm talking over
Way back.
13 years
Okay.
ago. And we were talking about, I was at the poolside, you know.
I think you're at the poolside a lot because look at how tan you are.
Well, that's where I was
Right.
living. So, and we were, it's funny, you brought, and okay, here it is.
Yeah. I mean, I knew him, and I
Yeah.
visited him in prison twice. I know his whole family. He's a great guy, and he got railroaded. He just passed away like maybe about a month ago.
Oh, we did?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
really?
And he was doing a life term for something he didn't do. And I do mention that in the book, that he did time for something he wasn't responsible for. So, but he was who he was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I originally started writing this book, it was supposed to be only about him. And it's funny because I sent him a chapter that I wrote, not the way this one is, about him. It was supposed to be only about him. And I sent it to him in prison out of respect, so he can read the first chapter. He read it. He calls me up. You know, when they calls you up from prison, and he says to me, "Hey, Nico, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." He says, "I read the first chapter." I said, "Oh, how would you think?" He said, "You make me sound like an Al Capone. What's the matter with you?"
What do you say?
He said, "I made him sound like Al Capone." That's the way
Oh.
he said it.
Al
And I
Capone.
said,
Well,
my Spiro, I said, "You weren't a quiet boy." You
but
ran-
they think they are.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny they do, right? They don't see it.
Anyway.
it made me laugh. I go, "Spiro, what do you want me to say?" You know, I only want you to talk about how they screwed me in the
Oh, he wants that.
government.
He wants that,
which
right.
is fine. I
Yeah.
would have done that. I said, "Fine." That would be like towards the end of the book. We can't go from A to Z
Right.
and nothing in between.
Right.
People want to know. He said, "No." So that's why I diverted from that. Out of respect to him, I didn't do it about him, and I did it about everybody.
It's just even
That's it. He
better.
called me from prison, and now everybody's in the book.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he knew about it, I guess, after. His daughter knew about it, of course, who was very supportive of me. And she did say, "Listen, you can't, my father's, he's hard-headed. He doesn't get it. You can explain to him from now till next year, it's not going to change anything."
Right.
You know, I understood. I respect, I get it. You know, he's not a rat. That's not the way he is. He doesn't like to talk about anybody, and I get it. And I respected that. So I said, all right, let me go a different route. And that's how this came about.
Very nice.
Now the cease and desist. How many of those have you gotten?
He papered his walls. He's got a whole
No,
room
only
in the
one.
house.
Only one. I only got one from the Gaudis and one from not a cease and desist letter, but contacted from a guy in
Could you
Canada.
imagine if you got a cease
Well,
and
I
desist
got a
from
cease
the
and desist
guy?
letter at my corporate job
Did you?
15 years ago.
Not from the Gaudis.
No, but it was from the boss. She wanted me out.
That's a different kind of boss.
And and she gave me a cease and desist letter. It was like
Really?
a legal thing to get me to leave, and I didn't leave. What happened in the end was I reported her, and the Virginia big shot came to Long Island, walked me out, gave me 2 weeks off with pay, and she got fired.
All right,
she
look at
was a
this.
bitch.
You two have something
So-
in common.
Not
That's
really,
the
but,
only time I ever got a cease and desist. That's why when you said it, it cracked me up. That was the old compact computer days. That's where I was.
Now, you said when you're writing fiction, since you're making it up, goes easier. No writer's block. No, I don't know where this story should go.
Well, even ironically, Flowers Are Not Forever, in the one I'm doing now, I didn't start writing it, but the idea's in my head. And
Gotcha.
I wrote a synopsis already for it. Totally different than what I'm doing. Completely different. The ideas came while I'm sleeping. And I wake up in the middle of the night and I start writing. I wrote
got a
notes
notepad
down
right
so
there
I don't
on your-
forget.
Yeah.
No, I got to run to the kitchen and write it.
Notepad on the bedside. That's
Yeah,
what
that
you
would
need.
help, but so that's how that one came about. Flowers Are Not Forever was while I was sleeping, and then the one I'm doing now, which is called Code Name, is another one. While I was sleeping, I was thinking about it, and
That's the one coming up.
that one's not even written yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Flowers Are Not Forever is the one where it's
That
already
one's
out.
just still an idea. Now,
This is just an idea.
with Flowers, when you were writing it, so you came up with the idea,
Mm-hmm.
let's say. When you sat down to actually write it, did any of your characters kind of surprise you? Did they do? Did you feel like I'm in control, or did you feel like sometimes your characters are in control? Damn, I didn't know he was going to kill him. What happened?
Oh no! I'm in total control.
You're in total
of it.
control.
I think he's in control.
Well, that's what I'm seeing here.
You're the
you
author.
know?
You're in control.
You're in control. You're in
Well,
control.
I feel very
not all
bad.
authors say that.
I feel bad about that
The
beautiful
only
woman.
the only thing that changed the book, I was talking to a very good friend of mine, Lisa, who's an artist, great artist, painter, whatever. And originally, Flowers Are Not Forever, the end of it was going to be different.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to say anything, but she told me, no, you can't do that. You have to have this happen.
Ah.
So as I was writing it, and I was getting towards the end, I said, you know what, Lisa's right. So I switched it to what she said, to make it.
What an ending.
I'm sorry.
What an ending.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't want the bad guy to get away with it. So I said, okay, I'll fix that. Because she wanted the woman to be, I say, I forgot the word for what I'm looking here. I'm a writer. I can't think of the damn word. Can you believe it? Rectified or whatever, vindicated.
Vindicated.
That's the
Indicated
word.
that she did nothing wrong.
No, she didn't do anything wrong to begin with.
Okay.
Right.
But
So-
it was more like what he did to her. He got it. He got his.
He got his.
It's called Justified.
Justified. That's the word I'm looking. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice. So now tell us about the movie that you're thinking about making.
Well, I've been in the process of doing that for 3 years now. Very difficult.
It's very hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was working with a production company, Lulos, who the guy who runs it as well, and I'm no longer with them because they were great,
Good.
But I decided they weren't really doing what I wanted. Didn't seem like it was going anywhere. I said I got to move on from here, so I terminated the contract with them. That was not too long ago actually, and I'm looking to. I have actors already interested in being involved. Lou's one of them. Lou Martini Jr. from Sopranos is another one. Lou Veneri from Bronx Tale. Al Linnea from Boardwalk Empire. I have people that are interested in Armand Asante, who's a good
I
friend of mine.
love him.
Yeah, he's
He's
interested in being.
one of the guys I adore.
But when it comes to the film business, as Lou knows even better than me, the first thing any actor asks, Lou knows, or his agent, like Armand's, exactly, like Armand's
Where's
agent.
the money?
Armand's agent, the first thing he said to me is, Armand's interested. He read the script. He loves it. Because I went to Armand's house and I gave it to him. And first thing they ask you is, do you have proof of funds? Meaning, do you have funding? Did you lock in funding? I didn't yet.
Yeah.
Which is, I have everything else already in place that
Okay.
I need. The pitch deck, the budget breakdown, the script, everything's there. It's ready to move. All I need is the funding.
Right.
And it's been a
That's
very,
a tough one.
very
Sounds like Mike.
difficult, very difficult road.
All the problems that will be solved with money.
I'll get there eventually.
You
I
will
think.
because you have a mission and you're passionate. This table's full of passionate
Passion and
people
mission is
right
nice, but it doesn't do much.
now. No, but
the bills.
no, but you
It's
do.
funny.
Connections, perhaps.
Connection's also very difficult. I mean, thank God for Lou. Lou's been a big help
Thank
with
you.
his knowledge. But working,
Thank you.
when you get involved in something like this, you learn along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And when I went to the American Film Market in L.A., I learned a lot. I saw Lou there, and I was there with the production company trying to pitch my script. Rule number one. I found this out later, after this. They don't read scripts, and trying to push a script without something attached to it, very, very difficult to
Yes.
do. And no distributor, investors, they don't look at a script. They don't even read them. They want to see something
They
visual.
want to see it.
Yeah.
They want to see it.
Visual now.
I want the video.
So we did shoot a promo. Me and Lou acted it.
I think we have a clip, right?
We have a
Yeah, we
clip.
did
Yes.
shoot a promo for it. It's not. I'm going to redo it again.
Okay.
And do it better, much better than what I did. It was done well.
Why don't we show the clip and let them
Yeah,
decide?
let's
I wanna
look
see
at the
the clip.
clip. Let's
Yes.
see the clip and some of the books.
They could do that.
Let's go to the videotape.
The videotape.
This is Destiny's?
Yes, correct.
Destinies.
Yes.
Here you go. Anyway.
Looks like the mob is, All the neighbors heard gunfire.
All right, so what you're telling me, the one who got shot, okay, got away.
I think it's one of Paulie's fans.
Oh, woo!
Nice.
With Ciro DiPaggio. Right, V?
That's what people
Maybe.
want. They want you to shop a video, not a book. A script.
Well, they want to see something visually, so
Yep.
it gives them an idea of what the story's
Yeah.
about. They're not going to read a 120-page script. Just not going to do that. So that's what I learned along the way. It's one of the things, and Louis even told me that as well. So that's when we shot this.
Nice.
But I want to, like I said, I want to redo it again. I want to do 7 scenes, a lot better. Really tells the whole story so people understand exactly
That's one
why.
whole
What's
picture of
why is the
whole
guy
thing.
falling in the house? Why is the girl looking at him?
Right.
There's a lot more information that needs to be told,
Right.
and that's why I want to redo that again.
That's great. Do we have any covers, copies of covers back there that we could show? There we go. Destinies.
That's the
There's the
first
cover
one.
of the book. Nice. And then we have this one.
And that'll be the movie poster someday.
That'll be the movie
Well, I
poster.
don't know. Who knows?
Good
And then
luck.
we have Mafia,
It's
the
just a
Greek
process,
syndicate.
as they say.
The Greek syndicates. Mafia toys.
That's right.
That's some title, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. I always got a kick out of being around them or, the people that are involved.
You know, just want to say everything, of course, read the book and everything. Today it's such a visual thing.
Yep.
And as a matter of fact, in regard to my film, we decided we're going to do a trailer.
Trailer.
And we're gonna try with AI. Now
What?
I'm not a
jeez.
big fan of AI, but
Me neither.
it's you got to use the tools that you have right now. That's
Yeah,
going to make
that's
it
what's out there.
because if somebody's going to make are interested, they want to see it. They're not going to sit. They don't read scripts.
No,
They don't
no,
even read
no,
scripts
no.
in the studio. It's like it's something ancient.
Yeah. No.
So
Everyone's attention span is like
exactly, and if it strikes a chord, then maybe you'll get it to the next
exactly
step.
to the next step, so they'll read it.
And,
It takes time.
it's
It
a-
does.
as I say,
So let me have
a
that
process.
copy of that
Yes.
cover. Let me see that book.
Does it
I'm
really-
enticed
are
by
you,
this
are you
book.
talking about this book?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Eternally Rose. I love it. I love the picture. I love what you brought. Show Stephanie what you brought. That
What'd you
Life
Oh.
magazine article.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
you brought the Life magazine
I
article?
bought all
Oh.
Bocuse films.
Oh, I want to see the Life magazine
Okay,
article.
first of all,
Eternally Rose.
when people read the book, of course they're
yeah.
going to read the book. This is one of the instruments that is used in the book. A discovery of my family's past. And here's the actual Life magazine,
Look at that.
1946.
1946. Gloria Graham on the front cover, right here.
Nice.
And just to, and you open it up, I just want to,
Oh, wow.
A bride dies at her wedding.
I just want to show the
Look
audience.
at that.
This is the actual Life magazine and the incident that propelled me to write the
Yeah.
story that evolved into Eternally Rose.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic to have it. Yes, there's the picture from the cover.
Yep, and all this front page daily news, all these wonderful things that we have here.
It's amazing.
This is the Daily News 19.
Oh, look at that.
Bride
Look at that
dies.
headline.
Falls
Bride
dead
dies.
in
Yeah.
aisle.
Falls in the altar.
Falls dead.
Anyway,
Aisle to altar. Wow.
so this is something that tells the story, kind of sets it in motion.
Yep.
So
So that's the story. What was the impetus for you to start writing the book? I mean, that's what happened.
well, okay.
That happened before you were born.
Yes, it was.
So,
You're good. Okay.
what made you write?
Well, actually, it was during COVID.
Ah, the COVID.
COVID.
Yeah,
It's
COVID.
strikes
The only
again.
positive thing I can say about that
COVID.
nonsense. But anyway,
COVID.
I,
A lot of
I-
COVID books.
my friend, business associate, says to me, "When are you going to write the book? Why don't you write the book? Now we have the time. Now you have the time. Do it." And I said, "You know what? Because," and I just mentioned before, the last time I was here, that the script has already been written. It's already been tested. So I said to myself, if this, God willing, gets out there into the public,
Right.
okay, we're gonna get a barometer of what if it's gonna be accepted. And took about, I would say about how many months? It took about 10 months to write the first draft,
Okay.
and then from there, I kept going over it, and it took another 6 months to finally, this is it.
This is it.
And there was things in there that had to be changed, but we did it. And then 2 years ago, on May 12th, 2022, was my mother's passing of her anniversary, and that's when we released the book. When I say we, Augie was very instrumental,
Right.
Augie Covert, to get this going, get it out there. He's very technical, and so we from the Facebook, and I got to tell you, I never thought the effect that, and I'm not big on social media. I mean, it just took off. It was accepted, reviews from Australia to New Zealand, South Africa, Scotland's very big. Scotland, for some reason, this story has resonated, and to Canada, Alaska, all over the world. For a self-published book,
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Now
Yeah.
you said COVID is what you had the time, but
Yeah.
wasn't it your mother who was an impetus in writing this?
That's very true, and yes, it was the night before she died. I was in South Nassau, and that night, this is my mother. She said, "Listen, I might not be here tomorrow." And she said, "I know I had to go into the city to meet the late actor Tony Musante, because at that time I wanted him to play my father." Okay, this is a process.
Yeah.
Many years in the making. So she says, "Get it done. Get it done." And
Wow.
it was like, and I don't, and this I would allude it to, people can relate to it. It's like that moment in Rocky.
Yeah.
When Rocky, when it just put me on this journey, and believe me, it was worth every minute of it. And we still got a lot to go.
Yeah.
Still, we're not across the finish line. I've got accolades. He knows about it. He's read it. He gave his thumbs up. Nick and people in the industry, and I'm, it's just so it's out there.
Nice.
And but my mother, that's why I dedicated
I saw.
this book
Yeah.
in memory of Lena V. Mastin-Turno.
Nice.
Um,
He was the one who pushed that. Get it done.
Get it done. I was like, those were the last words
and
she said to me.
The last words
Yeah.
are important.
I love you. But do me one favor and get it done. It's been a long journey.
It
but
has, but
every-
look at this
and
book.
I know, it's the business is crazy right now, but we're going to get it done, and we are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I never thought that I would take the time and go ahead and have to write a book. Screenplay, that's one thing,
Right, but a book.
but a book, and that was, and I got to say, as I said it before on this show, it's one of the best things I've done. That I've accomplished in my life.
Nice. With all the accomplishments, this is
Yeah.
This means so much.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's-
It was
this
the
is your life.
blessing. It was the blessing
Yeah.
from my mother. So you can say I'm a mama's boy, but I was the only child, and
yeah.
You were the
So-
son.
Now,
You were
Yeah.
the my son.
Yeah, no, yeah, my mother was a tough lady.
Well, I'm sure she was, but she was still her
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, but that's the impetus of that. What
It's
got
really
me to write
interesting.
this, and go.
this process, writing it, has changed you.
Yeah.
How has it changed you?
Well,
You're not the same person
no,
when you started.
I
mean, there's a lot that when you went through to write it, there's a lot you found out.
He's more cranky.
yeah, it's a more. You know what? It's cathartic.
Yeah.
It's cathartic.
I know that word's been used over
No,
and
no,
over,
but
it
it's
helped.
cathartic, and I got to tell you, people that responded to my family, I was like shocked. Some was jubilant, and some were like, "What? This?" is... But anyway,
Yeah, well, that's family.
Yeah, well, sometimes when you uncover those rocks,
Yeah.
not everyone's happy about
right,
it.
exactly. And all I know is I got the blessing from my mother, Miss Mama Di Fabrizio. She's described in the
Yeah.
book. Many years ago, I went to her out of respect, and I really, as a writer, you don't.
You don't have to, but you
But
did.
my growing up, I had my father to the, we had so much respect. Even as a child, we used to go over there for Christmas and get the or Easter the Pisagin and all that.
Right.
Mrs. D, it was Mrs. D Fabrizio, and we learned to respect as today, which is
Yep.
yeah.
Lost
In those
art.
days, we had
lost art. Yeah.
right, a
Yeah,
lost
well,
art, respect.
unfortunately, yes.
It was little things that I remember, stories from my godfather to Mrs. Di Fabrizio, my father, of course. As a matter of fact, I want to mention, I also now from the book, I also have a series called Elucidations.
Right.
Okay, that you can go on eternallyrosebook.com, and all those episodes come up. And I'd like to give everybody the backstories that's
Yes.
not really written in the book.
That's something.
And so forth. And also the Mastantuono Minute. I go to the locations. Actually, I call it the Eternity of the Rose book tour. And I've actually
I
taken.
like that. I like
actually
that. Get a
take.
big bus, drive people around.
Well, I got my Chevy.
There you go. There we go.
So, I have taken people to far more places of Inwood
Secrets, I guess.
and
Remote Inwood.
remote Inwood, and but people get once they read the book, they get a feel for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what I wanted to actually be, of course, based on truth. And now they can see it and feel it even more.
Well, they
So-
do all of that.
And
yeah.
I love it. To appreciate people appreciate it. I got to tell you something. I love when I read over 400 reviews in the last 2 years or more now, that people say, I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a series? I couldn't put it down. How many people tell me once they read this book,
They're
Eternally
into it.
Rose, and we can't. The other day, friend, what was it? Somebody recently said to me, I read the book in from
2 days.
from the night to the next morning. I couldn't put it down,
Nice.
and can't put it down. It's a page turner, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
And of course, my ultimate goal,
Movie.
yeah, and we're gonna get there.
I think you are, and you too.
Yeah, I mean, I have two, people that are with me. Mac Brown, who did Scent of a Woman, The Departed. He was executive producer. St. Vincent. And matter of fact, we spoke yesterday about this and how we're going. Even though there's a little bit of malaise in the film business, now the ball's gonna start to go into second gear.
Okay.
That's what we got to do. You can't start. That's the process. At this point, I'm not 45 years old. We got to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Anyway, so that's a little bit. Now, also, I mentioned before, and I have to allude to that, okay, is when I said the Rocky moment. Well, way before my mother, I'm going to tell you, I mentioned this the last time, it was in the late 70s. And I was married at the time, had a newborn, and we were going to a movie. He said, well, my wife, Roseanne, said to me, where do you want to go? I said, this movie I hear about, this guy named Stallone. And sure enough, I go see this movie, and I'll never forget, that night, I was so moved by it. I'm laying there, and I'm going, I couldn't fall asleep. I was so moved by this story. The next day, I go for a run. It was Thanksgiving morning, okay? And I'm running in the back of Lawrence, and all of a sudden it hit me. I have myself a story. And I said, wait a second. My father's story, I got something. Now, I knew nothing about the business. I was in a completely, not even close to the entertainment world at that point. And so I had this in mind, and I started writing this treatment. Didn't know what I was, but I just let it out. And as time went on, things happened, and I evolved into the business of my own actions, and kept pushing. So here is this guy, and years later, I come across an opportunity to play Stallone's brother in the new series, Tulsa King. So here I am. I'm saying to myself, this guy put me on this journey.
Yes.
And here I am
Right.
working with him. And I guess now they started the second season recently, and now I'm waiting for that call to go back.
And we'll see you on Channel 2 right here.
That's correct. Channel 2.
They're promoting it everywhere.
That's right. They will be, so everybody can see it.
Fantastic.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of overdubs, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's
That's how we're evolved into that, and even in my musical career, I had with his brother Frank. I had it. We were going to write music together and blah blah blah, and yeah, it just never came about. But here I am, and that's why I come to this, and I can't wait to get back on set, because I think, being that this character, my father's character, is in his mid to late 70s, is something different for him.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that I get that opportunity, and I'm going to make it happen. Say, look,
Yes,
Sly,
you are.
and I want to get into his daughter Stephanie. Is it Stephanie? Not Stephanie. What's her name?
He has 3, right?
Yeah, she's got a book club,
Yes.
and I want to see if I can
Get it in there.
get
Well,
her to have some interest to
That's
say,
a
hey,
must.
Nice.
yeah. So that's why there's a lot riding right now, and we'll see.
And you're so excited. We're all
Yeah,
excited.
you are. No.
Both of
Well,
you.
yeah, and also, as I had mentioned previously, I also, during the 80s, I wrote a song called Better Than One. And it got into the hands of Bob Shardoff and Erwin Winkler, who were the producers, and still are the producers, even though one of them died. Bob Shardoff heard the song, and it was up to be in Rocky V. A lot of politics, last minute, unfortunately, but that's what happens. So you take your hits, you take your knocks, and you keep moving forward, as
That's
they
life.
say, and that's what I've been doing. As my friend here for a long time, and keep punching, keep moving forward,
Keep moving forward.
and that's just.
And isn't that a way of life for all of us?
That's the way it should be, and every day I feel a gift. We've got to keep
Well,
doing
you have
what we
to.
do.
Otherwise, you go back. You don't
and
go
that's it.
forward.
And here I am.
So now
Here
this
we
book
are.
event that's coming up. Talk about that. I'm sure you know about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be, I have a table at the Gold Coast Book Fair
Nice.
next weekend. I'll be there the 28th, with all my books.
Yep.
Well,
The
Almost
county
all.
kind of got
Almost
behind
all
that.
of them. I didn't get all of them in time, unfortunately.
All right, but a good smattering.
Yeah, I'm going to have whatever I can there, so I'll be there on the 28th. It's in Greenvale on Northern Boulevard at LIU. So it's from 10 to like 10 to 5. So I'll be there. People are interested in coming, take a look at the books, check
They
them
will.
out.
People talk. You get
Get
to meet
signed
a lot of
copies.
people.
It's should be an interesting event. We'll see how it goes.
Fantastic.
Those are
Yeah.
fun.
It'll be something different. You know, the only thing about it I don't like is outdoors.
All right,
the
so we're
only
gonna hope
thing.
for
Outdoors.
not too hot, not too buggy, not too muggy.
Hopefully not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I prefer indoors on everything.
I'm gonna ask you, how about art? You still doing any?
No, I don't.
No.
You probably checked me. You probably found on
I
those already.
did, and I was like intrigued that you
Well,
were. An
I
artist.
graduated from SVA,
Yeah.
School of Visual Arts, many moons ago when I had more hair.
You draw some in. You're an artist.
Yeah,
What?
It was a great school. I really had a lot of fun. It was a great college. I graduated with a media bachelor's in media arts. But the art field is very difficult.
Oh, I'm not talking about doing it for monetizing it. I'm just
Oh, well,
you're an artist as far as
To be honest, I mean, I haven't drawn anything in years
Oh,
It's not your thing anymore.
because it's like
pass that
you know
man a pen.
you can
Go
only,
ahead.
you can draw so long.
Yeah, draw me.
I could very
He's
easily.
super
like this.
talented.
I mean, I can do it. I can still do it. It's not that.
It's just not there for you to do it right
Well,
now.
because after a while, you're drawing for so long. Mm-hmm. After a while, it's not a hobby no more.
It's
You
work.
want to profit from it, not just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
not
if you
because-
do
I mean,
your
I
hobby,
get that,
then
but,
it's like you
you
don't
know,
Well, I
really
found
say-
this more appealing.
Okay.
I mean, I always loved writing.
You transferred,
Like
some
Lou,
of that.
him more than me. I played in a band for like 4 years.
Uh-huh.
I wrote my own songs. I always loved writing. So writing has always been something. I wrote poems even when I was a kid. I mean, my inspiration for writing to begin with was when I was in junior high school. We had I was in my English class. I was in the low rung of the classes. I was a bad kid, so I was in the bad class.
Really, I'm not surprised.
He wasn't a choir boy.
No, I wasn't. Not at all.
He was no
Actually,
choir
I was
boy.
for like one day until the priest threw me out. I drank the wine in the back.
And that was
That's true story. So we were required to read a book called The Outsiders, that you know. By
just
F.C.
swept the Tony Awards.
I'm not going to see that garbage. It's not based on the book.
What was that?
The outside.
It's
The
The Outsiders.
Oh,
The Outsiders.
okay.
The movie was great. The movie was exactly the way the book was. This Broadway thing is, forget about it. I wouldn't go
Well,
there.
they don't know what
I
they're
wouldn't
doing.
I wouldn't go if you paid me. So it's, after reading that book, it inspired me to write. Because the character in one of the characters in the book, Pony Boy,
Yep.
reminded me of me. Because when I was in elementary school, I was beat up every day. I was bullied. Every time I walked out of school, he used to jump me and beat me up. Every day. A lot of the names I'm going to mention, you know them all. So I'm not even going to say them. So when I got into junior high school, I said, this has got to stop. I got to do something.
Yeah.
So there was a kid in the school, he was a Greek guy, and he was head of a gang called the Bay Rats. Or the Bay Boys from
The Bay Rats.
From Meadowmere Park. He knows. And I joined him. And anybody who started a fight with me in elementary school, I started a fight with them in junior high.
Look at you.
But now I had backing. I had all these guys. So I got my revenge, so to speak. So I felt connected to the character Pony Boy. That he went similar
Yep. Similar
storyline, and I felt
trajectory.
connected to him, and that's what I started. That book kind of inspired me to start writing.
There we go. All
Yeah,
right.
that's how it all kind of began.
So you moved from seeing it to writing it, and all the art's there. I
Yeah,
like it.
pretty much.
I
Yeah.
like it. Well, while we're talking Blast from the Past, and we mentioned Broadway, I'd
Yes.
ask you about Squonk. I gotta ask.
It got skunked.
I know it got squonked, but
But you know what? That's again another challenge. I was doing downtown at the Gene Frankel Theater. I was in a play, and one day one of the producers came up to me and said, "Listen, do you want to get involved? I got this project."
I was wondering how you got involved.
Yeah, and he said to me, "No, this is really it's against the laws of gravity, I guess. I don't know." But so I said to him, "Well, what is it?" He said, "Well, it's an art performance, and they're performing this downtown in a basement downtown, and it's getting rave reviews." Okay, so what are you talking about the budget? Let's talk money. What do you need? He says, we need $1.5 million.
Oh, here, let me write you a check.
Yeah. Mind you, again, I'm thinking my film, but I said, you know what? Why not? I diversify. I'll see what I can do. Do you know that was the easiest thing for me? I raised 3/4 of the budget. I raised 3/4, and I'm going.
Wow.
This is and from the time this was August.
Okay, be careful because if you're so good
Well-
at this, your phone's going to be ringing
Good.
for,
Well, yeah.
for
Well,
more projects on.
well, that's
Broadway.
fine.
Awesome.
I also, by the way, before I wrote the book, about a year before COVID, I was sitting down with a director. He saw the play that I was in, Wounded Heart Mission. Jason Grant. How was the play?
Amazing.
Amazing. How was Lou?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Of course.
Put him on the spot. Anyway,
Just pass him the
I'm not
20 right now. Just
but
pass him the money
but
right
you
now.
gotta realize, I'm not saying that because he's my friend. I've
Yeah,
known him all my life. He was really
I'm sure.
that was the first thing I've ever saw him play, right? And you know, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. And I knew him all my life because he used to come to my dad's cafe every day.
Nice.
just
You
about.
know?
Yeah.
And I never really, to be honest, I said, this is gonna suck. I didn't think it was gonna be really that great. I didn't think so.
Then you had to eat. What
After
you said.
that, after seeing him, I was like blown away.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a great play.
Wow.
Very good
It was
play.
my.
He
view-
walked in a cynic. He came out a fan.
That's
I love
right.
it.
Well, it was
Well, I
a
was always a fan
well-written
of
play.
his, but it was just that, you
It
know.
just had so much dynamics that particular play and that character for me, and I loved it. I couldn't. I'm still living on Long Island. I couldn't wait to run back into the city.
Nice.
That's how great it was.
You enjoyed
Anyway,
it.
so what's my So I go ahead. You know, I got involved with raising this money and got it.
Got squonk in there.
Got squawked. It lasted about 3.5 months. But you know what? At the Helen Hayes Theater.
Helen Hayes Theater. That
and it
nice
was a
stuff.
challenge
Pretty good,
that I
yeah.
did. It made a few shekels.
Right.
But yeah, and that's
Gave you a really interesting credit. You know.
yeah.
That's an interesting credit to have on your name.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice.
Production
We had, I
credit.
mean, and unfortunately, again, that particular time, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. She couldn't even attend the premiere.
Oh.
So, I mean, all these, but anyway, you know.
So before, and
I
this
get
is
that.
now.
So you know, it's just the way it was, but anyway. So that was an accomplishment I never even expected to happen.
Wow.
But my point is, you put yourself forward and make it happen. Make it happen, and
That's everything today.
Yeah.
You
Put
have
yourself
to.
out there.
yeah, you know. So that's
Definitely.
the story with that.
Good stuff.
But again, I want to say I was writing met with Jason Grant, the director of that show that I did, and we would write, and then COVID came and everything went kibosh.
Yeah.
But I was writing the play, and this is what I want to do. Once the movie is out there, and I know it's going to catch on, I am in the meantime going to have commissioned to write. What do you call it? The play?
The play.
And I'm still undecided whether I'm going to make it into a musical like I did to Bronx Tale.
Gotcha.
Is it going to be a one-man show? Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
that would be what I do. That's going to be my.
That'll be it.
That's why. And I say, okay, you know.
See where this evolves.
And that's why it
gonna
keeps me going, plus other things I do. But I'm just saying this is something that's
Nice.
It's your journey.
in my
Both
heart,
of you have a journey.
my journey. And I
So
hope I
if
can
someone
live a long
wants to
life.
call
That's
you
just
or-
sweet.
Right. A lot
What's
of
that?
Where do they
journey,
go for the
doesn't it?
book? Where do they go to
They
reach
go
you?
to, you're right. Go to that, eternallyrosebook.com. All the information, all the websites that we put up, the elucidations, the Mastantuono Minute, everything will tell you the backstories of the story itself, the book, of course, Eternally Rose. And I want to thank all of you. Thank you
You're welcome.
for having me.
We were glad to have you back.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Anytime.
And
And
to sit here with
my
my
friend-
Where do we find you?
Where do we find me?
yeah, how do people
Besides
find
right
you?
here.
Nowhere safe.
We're
by the
lucky.
way.
You can't find him on my email because I can't get your emails. I have to have a second person to get your emails.
Well, just
Gotta fly below the radar there, Nick. I get that.
well, if anybody's interested in the books or finding out what I'm doing film-wise or whatever, I mean, nickchristopher's50@gmail.com. Best thing to do is email me. But if you just Google my name, Nick Christophers, I'm all
You
over the
come up
place.
all over.
Yeah, and you can
I'm
call
everywhere.
me
You are everywhere.
because now we're
Pretty
buddies.
much.
And I just want to interject one thing. You can go to my book, Amazon, of course, .com,
Oh, yes.
Barnes &
All
Noble,
that,
Goodreads,
Yep.
And
Yep. It's
Thank
all
you.
over.
And what about Red Penguin? You want to write a book?
Yep, write
This
Red
lady
Pen-
will help you. Trust
Absolutely
me.
helped you.
She trained me, and I'm doing
Helped
this now. And that was a tough one.
Absolutely it was. You really put me through the mill on that
I
one,
know,
that's for
I
sure.
know.
So yeah, redpenguinbooks.com. If you have a book all ready to go, or we have people who literally at least once a month I get someone who sends me 400 sheets of handwritten
Yeah.
loose leaf. People are absolutely still writing it by
doing that,
hand, and
yes.
they send me a big envelope. So just visit redpenguinbooks.com and unleash your inner author.
And this is the head penguin.
Head
How do you
penguin.
like that one?
Yeah, that's very
like
cute.
that.
I figure I should have come in costume. Like
Yeah,
I
really.
need like a penguin head or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's the head penguin.
Relocated and
That's interesting.
Here on Long Island.
Oh, no, Long
but
Island.
we do have authors on 6 continents right now. We are missing one. So my big ask is if any of you know somebody in Antarctica, we are offering you a publishing contract.
Wow.
Because-
Probably an Eskimo there. Just
there we
waiting.
go. There we go. So we can be on 7 continents because right now we're only on 6.
I see.
Only.
Oh,
And
working
you've
on it.
grown so
Okay.
much.
We're working
I mean,
on it. So
And you know the story's true. We met at the Butter Cookie Bakery.
yes,
and the
we
rest
did.
is history.
And the rest is history.
I don't remember. I
And
think
she
I had a,
enticed me with, two
I-
fabulous authors here, so I said I'm going to come.
yes. Thank you for coming. Meant a lot to me.
Oh, my pleasure.
And also,
Fabulous
she does
authors.
beautiful websites. Look at mine. It looks,
There we
it
go.
looks great. Very blessed to have you in my life and
Oh,
how my
pleasure.
life changed and
My
grew.
pleasure.
And
Well, that's what your book is. Your books are about
Yeah, it
changing your
is.
life. And-
everybody knows about my book.
Yeah, well,
Lose your job, change your life. Start something new, get bold. Stand out, don't be afraid.
and my whole thing is write a book, change your life.
Exactly.
You know,
And it
Yeah.
will change your life.
It
and
does,
you
it does.
taught me how to
It
teach
gives
that
you more
in your
dimensional.
absolutely.
More.
Well, especially your kind of book, it's a look back,
Yeah.
which puts you on a different path forward. And for you, I mean, the amount of creativity in so many ways that you have as a writer and an artist in fiction and nonfiction. I mean, you've got hands in so many different pots there, and film and everything else. I mean, oozing creativity, and it changes you.
Yeah, it
Definitely
does.
changes
I guess
you.
it does.
It does.
You know, it
but like
changes
Luce-
you and it changes your readers.
Yeah, it's just.
And it changes those people who are threatening you. I mean, everybody is touched
all the
by
way
your
around,
books.
you know,
I mean,
guys?
you are touching people in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's right. And today, don't forget, it's the National Day. Go to the beach. That's what you're supposed to
I
do.
should have gone to the beach.
I
I'm
need to
here
go
with
to
you
the beach.
I
instead.
don't go to the beach.
I'm sitting here with you instead.
I
could've
know.
been at the
I know.
beach.
Well, I'm buying you dinner.
All right,
So
well,
there
we
you go. And if anybody wants to come, we're going to see Anita Starlight tonight at 6 o'clock down the block on Jerusalem Avenue at Il Bacetto. The best meal there is lasagna.
Where is it?
Go.
It's about 10, 15 minutes
Oh,
from here.
seafood.
Yeah.
Go.
So that's a wrap, guys. Thank
All
you.
right,
Wrappy
thanks,
wrap.
everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.